Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hunter the Vigil Terminus Tendency. I am William, and I am your storyteller for this New World of Darkness Chronicle. Joining me today, we have Jeremy.
Hello, my name is Jeremy. I am playing Nina Sky, a union rock star, and I was wrong. It's not. It was The Insider that Russell Crowe acted in 1999.
Insider.
That doesn't work.
It's the same syllables.
A warrant.
I have no fucking clue how that, like, the fast drawl bit after that goes.
No one does. Not even Snow.
And
A
John.
Leaky boom boom something.
Something licky boom boom. Sorry, am I the first one, or was someone else introduced first? I completely lost track.
Jeremy was introduced first.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I was supposed to be shifting
with the Russell Crowe
profiles.
commentary.
Yeah, right. Hi, I'm John, and I'm playing Zero Albright, who is not putting on his sunglasses today because I can't find my fucking my glasses cleaner, and so I can't clean any of my sunglasses or my regular glasses. So, dirty lenses.
Apparently, the line is, "You know, say daddy me, snow me, I go blame."
Sure, it is.
That's a line.
Those are definitely words that you said that sound like they might make sense put together.
Look, I don't know, man.
From a certain perspective.
From a certain point of view.
I don't listen to reggae for the lyrics. I listen to reggae for the rhythm and the feel.
And Holly?
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Astrid Ashwin, Knights of St. Adrian, and I do not listen to reggae for any reason.
You should. It's fun.
Reggae is good stuff. I'm going to fight you on the idea that fucking Informer is a reggae song, though.
It is. Whether or not you like it doesn't change the genre.
I was about to say, it is genre classified as reggae.
Okay.
Like
Snow
in
is
the
a
about page for the song.
Snow is a reggae singer.
Are we talking about the Wikipedia page? Because no.
I mean, this is the feedback page on Google.
Which goes off of Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Nikolai Dalka, member of the Ascending Ones, and if he was in Gladiator, he would be the Medicus.
Also, it got the Juno Award for Reggae Recording of the Year, so there's that.
Okay, I will grant you that one. There you go. I argue it's far more... sure, there's reggae elements in, but that's a hip-hop song.
It'd be both
Mara.
hip-hop and reggae.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Thomas Smith, Ashwood Abbey repairman, and Black Lives Matter, trans rights or human rights, and Texas. Why?
Also, happy Women's History Month.
Yes, that too.
And go check out all the lovely women that I put up in a tweet on International Women's Day, including two of whom are here. That sentence worked.
Yeah. And Craig?
Hi, I'll be playing Paul Phillips, Copus of the Aegis Kaidoru, who in turn is currently playing Jim Dale, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission Inspector.
Right. That's right.
Like a Russian nesting doll.
That's right. Two of us are in character. Hang on, gotta get the accent back.
We're in the middle of combat at this point. We don't need to do the accent.
Hey, some of us are professionals, all right?
That's the wrong accent.
All right, I'll get to it.
That was Australian.
No,
Vaguely.
no, it wasn't.
I don't know what you mean by need to do the accent.
Need to do the. He's from
We don't
Monroe.
need
I have to say Monroe. That's what I gotta do to get my accent back. Monroe, because that's where I'm from, right?
Like that was more like that first line was like Pacific Islander somewhere, like somewhere between Australia and New Zealand and the Philippines.
You have to really
You're
tune it
getting
in.
ready for the Hawaii trip.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot do a Hawaiian accent. I'm not going to try.
Please do not.
I'm not going to.
How offensive can we be?
I mean,
Okay.
I could tell you what some white people said to me once when I was in Atlanta.
Please don't. Please do not just.
Jack asked.
Anyway,
We're fighting a
We were-
thunderstorm.
yeah, we left off when you guys were fighting a man who turned into a ball of lightning. So we pick up with that. By the way, there's lightning everywhere in this metal building. Paul, it's
Yeah.
your turn.
Paul, who is still sort of,
Also, I turned on the fire alarm for whatever that's worth.
is it raining in here now? Are the sprinklers on or?
They've
the
just
fire
turned
alarm.
on. Yes.
Okay. So Paul who is still in costume as Jim Dale, mustache, big glasses, thinning hair, pulls on his rubber gloves. And is there anything around that is plugged, has a 3-prong plug in here that I can see? Big lamp, computer, anything?
Probably, yeah.
All right. I want to grab that plug and just cut it off wherever it's plugged in with the multi-tool that he has, and then strip it so that the ground is exposed.
Okay. Make me a dexterity and crafts roll.
Okay. I knew I had crafts for a reason. Normal roll. I'm going to spend a willpower on this if I may.
Sure, go for it.
Okay.
That was an attack roll.
I don't know who just rubbed their microphone against their shirt,
Whoops,
but stop
my
it.
bad. All right. Let's try that again. All right, 4 successes.
So, yeah, very quickly. It'll probably take you into the. It's probably like the end of your turn by the time you manage to finish stripping it down to the ground.
Yeah,
But you have exposed the ground.
Okay.
In
All
this particular outlet.
Okay. He will, if possible, he will do this while sort of crouched down by the desk, I guess. But I certainly think that's all the time that I have on my turn.
Thomas.
Okay. Well, I have a giant sword. That's pretty much what I've got. Remind me.
Oh, yes.
Other
Use
people
the
have
metal.
attacked this thing, and it hasn't seemed to be affected by physical attacks now that he's gone into a thing
Yes. Being not made of physical material, he does not appear to be all that bothered by physical attacks.
Well, darn it. Okay. Can I see Paul doing his thing? Can I try and grab it and use that to ground? I don't know.
Sure. He will
Okay.
pass it after you. We could wind it around the base of the sword.
Ooh, yes. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
You got some rubber gloves?
No.
Can I give a rubber glove over?
Does Thomas have professional training that he could roll to see if he has rubber gloves?
I have 1 dot of profession? Would that count?
Roll. I'm trying to think what a luck roll would be here.
Yeah.
I would make the argument we are here posing as investigators. Is it possible that would be part of the investigator kit?
I would say roll me composure and intelligence plus
Okay.
your professional training.
All right.
If we have any energy inspectors listening, I apologize. I am tremendously ignorant of what you do. I don't know if you have rubber gloves.
And it seems like a thing that might be useful.
If you need to sample the power, I don't know.
3 successes.
I will say
Hey.
yes, you have a pair of rubber gloves on you.
Perfect. All right. I am going to wrap that thing around the sword. I'm assuming that takes my whole turn, or...
Probably.
Okay. That's what I do.
Craig, I just want to confirm, did you just say sample the power?
Yeah, that's why I was saying, that's what I'm picturing, like, why would they have rubber gloves? I don't know, it's like you want to dip in and get like a big old paw full of energy.
Maybe because they might be walking into a place that's very unsanitary and they don't want to touch filth and grime with their bare hands.
I'm just imagining like
Well, I
going
mean, you
through
see, like,
Costco's
latex or nitro.
to get the free electricity sample.
Exactly.
Right.
You
Comes
have-
on a toothpick.
Like, they definitely have gloves. The question is whether or not they're rubber or not.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're specifically an inspector for a power plant, you should have rubber gloves because if there are any faults at that power plant, open wires are a danger.
Yeah, but at that point you want rubber-soled shoes, really, more than anything else.
Yeah.
That too, but both. Having both does not hurt.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
At
it
that
helps
point,
our
you
case
want
if they
another
do, so I'm
job.
all for it. I'm just admitting my own ignorance on the subject.
Same. I grab the end from Paul and wrap it around my sword. That's my turn. I'm still standing out there just to give another target.
Oh, it is our good friend, Grandfather Thunder's turn.
This won't go horrifically at all.
I don't know. I haven't found him on Facebook yet, so I don't really think we're that close.
He's the part of the
That's
family that
because
you don't
Facebook
friend on
dem-
Facebook.
Facebook saw his name and decided that it was a fake name and disabled his account.
All right. So when you're attacking while you're made of a weird non-Newtonian element,
Electricity isn't so much an element as it is just a discharge of energy, really.
Is he?
that is not how changelings and the Fae view electricity.
I know.
I think it also does bashing and not lethal, right?
Yes, it does do
Yeah.
bashing damage.
Interestingly, changelings and the Fae both give a huge amount of shit about Isaac Newton. They like that guy.
Let's see. What is your...
Do they? I mean, all he did was drop an apple.
Have you read the Principia?
No.
It is one of the great stand-up comedy texts of that era, according to the Fae. Look at this guy trying to predict how things work.
All right, so the massive lightning arcs around and is going to try and zap Astrid, who is trying to destroy the computers here.
Just the desk.
No, I think she was going for the computers too.
She's going for everything. She was trying to get Rise out of it.
It turns out you
Good
succeeded.
job. Good job.
Yes, a rising current.
Oh.
We had a series of bread puns on Dragonstone today, so I'm still feeling a little
Still
punny.
still caught in the wake of that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just reading up on the rules of this thing. The damage of this is the damage
Kill
rating on this is
Astrid.
the wielder's weird if it's bashing damage.
Kill Astrid. Kill
Let me tell you
Astrid.
how
No,
much
that's
weird.
a lot of dice.
Let me tell you how much weird Grandfather Thunder has.
Please tell me how dead I am.
Oh yeah, you're injured.
Do you have a backup? Do you have a backup
Oh,
character yet,
yeah.
Holly?
Nope.
Start thinking.
Any ideas that you really
I
like?
never have backup characters.
Same.
Well, I've never lost a character in a long-term campaign before. Tonight could be the night.
That's 6 points of bashing damage.
Gotta start somewhere.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to roll that again. What's your defense? I didn't take that in.
Oh,
That's good.
2.
This is where it becomes 8.
12 points of bashing damage.
Defense calculated in the system, I forget.
It's the higher of your dexterity or
Lower of the wits.
sorry,
your
lower
wits or
lower of your wits or
dexterity.
dexterity, right?
Still 4 points of bashing damage.
Not as bad.
Better.
Are you still conscious?
I think so. Hold on.
It was a very qualified uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm figuring out health here and what lines mean.
The X is lethal. The 1/ is bashing.
Okay, hold on. I did this wrong.
The star is aggravated.
It builds in like a sort of simple way. It's 1 line for bashing, 2 lines for lethal, 3 lines for aggravated.
Okay.
4 lines for oh my god, what happened?
Okay, so that was just bashing.
Yes.
Yes. I'm
Alright.
still standing.
That is going to be his turn. Nina.
All right. I'll make the joke that I made before. I will call. My action will be to call Texas and have them take control. And that'll be the problem. But no, in all seriousness, I believe I have a copper pipe.
You do.
I know this is gonna hurt.
Try and ground him through you.
It'll at least potentially, I don't know, slow him down, contain something while everybody else does their thing, whatever their thing is. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stick through him with the pipe.
Make me. What do we say the damage of a pipe would be? 2.
Something like that.
Make a weaponry attack -3 for his defense.
Okay.
We
We'll
did
spend
say,
willpower, so it's even.
at least a couple of us did say to try to drag him outside.
Yeah,
Whenever that's
but we
worth.
can't do that until we've got him in a position where we can drag him. If I have a pipe sticking out of his chest, I can potentially drag.
I'll leave the office. He'll follow, though.
I also don't necessarily want. him
There's
to-
4 damage.
Very nice. It's not really going to be damage, but it's just a matter of how effectively you try and ground this guy.
Right through.
So you sort of catch where this lightning. You're fortunate because it's a changeling moving as lightning rather than actual lightning. So you actually have a chance to watch it and try and react to it.
I've dealt with pyro before. I know how this works.
So you reach out and try and slam out to extend the copper rod into it. And you stick a copper rod into a pile of lightning with yourself on the other end of it.
Yep.
Let's see how bad this hurts. I'm just going to roll his weird.
Kill Nina. Kill Nina. Kill Nina.
See, that's the thing is, I haven't thought of any backup characters, but I have one just because I played one previously.
Yeah, because you played Verity 1.
Yeah.
You take 3 points of bashing damage.
Oh, blah.
I would have to redo the overlay and the profile card, though.
What effect does this appear to have had?
It definitely appears to have slowed him down. The jagged rampaging of his lightning form has sort of become tethered around the area. Like as you stuck the copper rod into the core, he channeled into you and down into the floor, and it sort of like you had him on a hook, basically, so the lightning sort of flailed around the vicinity of the copper rod rather than dancing around the room.
Think quick! Think quick!
Working on it.
Nico.
Well, given Nico's intensive and long-term training in how power stations work, by which I mean he has none, he's just looking around for anything that looks like, hi, we're the contingency plan mechanisms. You know,
Break glass in
If
case of emergency.
right. Or, hey, oh, got excess electricity? Put it here, kind of thing.
Yes, the electricity box. Every station
Right.
has
Yeah.
one of those.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. He's looking for the drain plug in the electricity bathtub.
Roll me wits and composure.
Cool.
Looking for a box that has a lightning bolt on it. Surely the answer will be inside.
Not a one.
You
He's
see,
looking around.
you see many things marked with lightning bolts, and you realize they're all transformers.
Ah, robots in disguise. Perfect.
Autobots, roll out. Yep, that's about his turn then, probably. Digging
Astrid.
for stuff that he doesn't know.
Is Nina successfully grounding this thing?
I mean, she's got him held rather than moving constantly around the room. I don't know if you would call it successful, considering she's currently being used as the ground.
Right. How
It
close
is still a success. It's a
How-
qualified success.
How close is Nina to the door?
Probably standing just a few feet inside of it.
Okay. Astrid is gonna try to tackle Nina out the door.
Kill Astrid and Nina. Kill Astrid
That's
and
it.
Nina.
I am conductive. You do realize.
Wait, the electricity monster's inside Nina. Had to kill Nina to get it out.
Trying to get it out of the room.
Yeah, legit. No, I'm.
This is the only thing I can think of.
We're so good at planning. Thomas and Paul are sitting there like, don't worry, we'll ground it, and they're out the door.
I have.
I want to say, are you sure about that? But all right. Roll me strength and athletics, I guess.
Kill Astrid and Nina. Kill Astrid and Nina.
That's a weaponry attack.
Oh.
Trying to kill Nina, apparently.
Like I said,
Chop her hands off.
the electricity has gotten into Nina. We've got to get it out. Axe first.
Sorry. Ah,
Get it. Good geez, what
Oh,
the?
That
no.
time you rolled 0 dice.
I'm not rolling right tonight. Give me a second.
There
There.
you go.
There you go. Nina, are you trying to not be tackled here?
No, if Astrid wants to get herself shocked, that's fine.
Okay,
I will. If she's willing to accept the consequences of Nina's electric personality, that's
I am going to need you to roll for your grip because you're being bodily tackled while your muscles are spasming from electricity. So I'm going to need you to roll.
Bonus die for the spasming, though, right?
Let's see.
Really hard to let go once you're being shocked.
that is true.
I know
My
from
hands are wrapped
experience.
the fuck around that thing.
Magnetism. It works on
Muscles
humans.
clench.
Yeah, but you have no particular sliding grip. You're just kind of clenched. So, roll me strength and stamina.
Okay. I will willpower this. Because who needs willpower?
Willpower.
Sheet roll +3. Oh, wait, no, sorry, +2, because I'm currently a -1 for health penalties.
Technically.
That'll be automatic.
Oh, it already does?
Yeah, it does automatically. Roll an extra
Okay,
die.
yep.
Technically, since William is piloting the demon,
Didn't do anything. So
the-
1. 1.
So you don't let
holding
go
on.
of the pipe. It doesn't slip out of your hands.
Since William is piloting the creature made of electricity, we're fighting willpower.
The one
No.
doesn't cancel stuff, does
Take
it?
10 lethal damage.
A sniper just takes 0 out.
So yeah, you tackle Nina, and both of you land on the other side of the door, having just managed to push her out the door with that tackle. I am, however, going to not in New World, Craig, only in Old World.
Thanks.
That's OW, not the CW. I'd
Or
rather
as we
CD.
could call it, Good World.
COD, really.
Oh no.
WAD versus COD.
No.
Eh.
Please not call it WAD.
The old world is WAD.
It's what
New world is
I've
COD.
referred. I have referred to the World of Darkness as WAD for years. You're not going to make me stop.
Many other options.
That's another 4 points of bashing
none of them are
damage
as
you
good.
take, Astrid, as you tackle the person who is currently discharging lightning.
This was a great idea.
Kill Astrid. Kill Astrid.
I only had 2 more slots left for bashing.
So 2 of your bashing that you have turns into lethal.
Awesome.
I forget,
That's-
Jack. Is it when you're full up on bashing that you're unconscious, or
Yeah.
Am I unconscious?
I think you have to make a stamina roll for it.
yes,
Let me
it's
check.
Yes.
on your turn you'll make a stamina roll or pass out.
Awesome. Astrid makes really great decisions.
Mhm.
Would it happen now because she triggered it on her turn technically rather than being hit?
I think it is an instant. Let me check.
I feel
though.
like yes.
From my people who have played this game more often than I do.
Books. Core rulebook.
We'll say make a stamina roll right now to see if you maintain consciousness, having just shocked yourself.
Just straight stamina.
Straight stamina, no penalties due to wounds.
Yep.
No penalties due to
yeah,
wounds?
no wound
No,
penalties. so
no
you're gonna want to
penalties
add.
don't
You're gonna
apply.
want to add 3 dice.
Okay.
That's the wrong book. We're in Hunter.
1 success.
All right, you're not unconscious yet.
Yet being the operative word.
Yeah, you will have to make that roll every.
Every turn. Yeah. 0. It's your turn.
Cool. They got him outside, right?
Well, he's outside the door of the office. He's not outside the building yet.
That's fine. Could I throw one of my cold iron throwing knives into the electricity?
Don't miss.
There are 2 other people in the middle of that electricity right now.
That's fine. I'm a
Zero
real good.
doesn't care.
I'm a real good hit.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and make a presumption about John's character that Zero doesn't give a fuck about the fact that there are 2 other people there.
I mean, he does in a sense, but he's not going to do the same thing that you guys have been doing and touch the electricity. So,
Sure, you can make me that throw.
this should be strength athletics, not dexterity athletics. What are you talking about? Why are you wrong? Oh no. No, it's not. It's dexterity athletics. Never mind. That's right. That's correct. +1. I'm just gonna add 1 to the damage dice for my specialty in knives. And I would like to actually do some damage as opposed to every other time I've ever attacked something in this game. So I'm going to spend a willpower.
And when you did some decent damage to the knuckle of you with your arrows.
2 at a time, yes.
Yeah, all of it aggravated, though.
Well, here's a cold iron throwing knife into the electricity for 4 damage. Hopefully it does something.
Unfortunately, cold iron as it is, the knife is not a grounded object when it's flying through the air. And the lightning is already tethered to the path of least resistance, which is through the copper bar into the other 2 people.
So it's just a throwing knife just flies over you two and embeds in the wall.
Like misses by like an inch.
The lightning does seem to tease around it as it passes by and sort of reflexively shy away from it, as if trying not to touch it, which gives you an interesting idea.
Well, ain't that a hootenanny? You just hear from off to the side.
Nina's jaw is clenched shut by electricity, so she cannot comment.
I hope you tucked your tongue back so you don't bite it off.
I feel like she almost certainly did.
I know what I'm doing on my turn.
Paul, it is your turn.
God damn it. I swear to God.
I will take my wallet and I will shove it in Nina's mouth. No, can I catch the knife?
It's embedded in a wall.
It's in the wall. You'd have to be walking near the lightning to try and grab it, but you can.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Okay. Here's what I would like to do. Is the current grounding that we have, is the cord long enough to reach to the door where these folks are?
It would probably be a reach, but because Thomas has such a giant fucking sword, maybe.
All right. Well, can I do this then? Can I just grab it as I move, unplug it from the wall, and go over and plug it in closer to where they are?
Ground wire is not typically something that you can unplug. It's like a wire in the wall that goes straight to ground.
No. Because what I did was I cut off a power cord that has a 3-prong that plugs into the ground in the wall.
Yeah, because every 3-prong outlet has a ground wired in, and he's just making something that extends that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're just trying to extend the ground rather than.
The cord is just so.
The statement you had said previously.
Somebody.
Yeah, the statement you had said previously was, "I wanted to expose the ground," which to me was, you want to take the outlet off the wall and expose the ground wire inside the outlet.
No, to be clear, I'm exposing the ground wire in the plug.
Okay.
In the cord.
Basically, he stripped the wire and pulled out the grounding wire.
Paul is saying plug when I think you mean cord, which is where the confusion happened, I think.
That may well be. Yeah. I call the whole thing a plug, but yeah.
Yeah, to me, the plug is the outlet. So yeah. So sure. Cord. The cord was what you were trying to strip. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So can I unplug the grounded cord and run over and plug it in and then grab the knife out of the wall?
That assumes there's an outlet just on the other side of the door that you can use when that's just a catwalk.
No, we can do it. I mean, on the inside. I mean, if they're right outside the door, we can do it over closer to there. It's like vacuuming. You know, when you vacuum on just the other side of the door, but you plug it in on the inside of the room.
Yeah, but you may have the nearest outlet right now, is what I'm.
Okay, all right. Well, then that being the case, I will leave that as is, and grab the knife.
Okay. You are passing in close proximity to the flailing lightning elemental. Are you trying not to get shocked?
My goal would be to grab the knife and get back and essentially tape it to the sword. Can I still do that if I try to dodge it, or do I have to just push through?
I would say if you want to avoid getting shocked, you theoretically could and still try and attach a cold iron knife to the end of the Zweihander. However, that would definitely require a roll.
We've got 2 people. I mean, I don't mind making a roll regardless, but we've got 2. No, Paul's just going to do it. Paul's going to push through. He's got rubber gloves on. He's just going to push through.
Okay, so you're just grabbing the knife and going and trying to retrieve it.
Yes.
Okay, you are wearing rubber gloves. However, your head is not rubberized. So we're gonna.
If it counts, I am wearing a rubber bald cap.
Debatable. Debatable.
That is-
It's Paul.
That
Debatable.
bald cap is more plastic than rubber.
Like the idea. Of
You
that.
take 2 points of bashing damage as you retrieve this knife.
Fair.
See,
There-
I was
there's
just
just kind of a
passing a cold
grunt
iron
from
knife to
Paul.
Paul. That's all I was doing.
This is the first time I've taken. This might be the first time I've taken damage.
How does it feel?
I mean, he doesn't like it. I mean, the character has taken damage in the past, which is why he
He's-
generally hides behind things in combat.
Very important question. Is his fake eyeball doing the Thor thing?
Oh, that's a good question. Is it? How does it react? Because it dampens magical power. So how does it react to this, William?
So as you dash through this cloud of lightning basically to try and retrieve this cold iron dagger, and as lightning sort of dances across your skin and frame, the lightning that would course through the eye trying to pass through you sort of forms almost a Faraday cage around the socket, and there's just this sort of sphere of sort of electrical contact around the outside of your eye.
So that horror show is now looking Thomas in the face as Paul, through gritted teeth, comes back, takes the dagger, and just wraps friction tape around the end, putting it on, and looks at him and says, "Go get him, lads."
All right, Thomas.
Cool, man. I'm gonna go and plunge this thing in.
If you were afraid of the throwing knife running past you, wait until you see the great sword coming down.
I am reasonably less certain that Nina is reasonably less certain that Thomas would kill her.
Yeah.
Reasonably less. There's still a possibility.
Thanks. Yeah.
Roll me your weapon attack.
Okay. I get a +1. I think. Hang on. Let me look at my thing. This is not the one.
I've been forgetting to
Oh,
add
this
people's
one.
defenses, but there's been enough attacks thrown at him by now that he no longer has it. So
Yeah.
Mara, I'm sorry we're gobrucking your sword here.
No, it's delightful. I get 9 again and a +1. I'm gonna spend a willpower on this because this seems important. So +4.
Do not hit Nina. Do not hit Astrid.
I mean, I would imagine it's a lunge and a stab, right? Not a swing.
To be
Yeah.
fair though, if you're gonna hit one of us, hit hard.
Yeah.
Make it end quickly.
Make it end quickly.
No, because I will die.
Don't. Well, that's the point.
this-
Like, don't
Gotta happen sometime.
don't prolong the death.
Does this count as a thrust down?
we'll say yes, you can use a
Yes.
thrust here.
All right, I get +5. Here we go. 6 damage.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Off goes Nina's head.
So you sort of rush forward and sort of
Nice.
plunge this blade down into the rubberized floor, and sort of as you dive it into this mass of lightning, the bridge connects, and the cold iron dagger connects to the Zweihander, connects to the grounding wire, and the mass of lightning sort of arcs into the blade and sort of travels along the wire and disappears out of the room.
I think I might have sent him into the electrical system. Shit.
That's probably not a good idea, but let's hurry up and toss this place so we can get out.
Do I take any damage from that?
You're wearing rubber gloves, so I'll say you'll take half of it
Okay.
because you are resistant to lightning, but he's magic.
Yep. Fair.
No. Now, William, I will point out, if the grounds in this office feed back somehow into the power supply of the plant, that's some fucked up wiring.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I didn't say where he went. I just said he
Okay.
disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah.
You take 1 point of bashing damage from that
All right.
attempt.
All right.
He went
You're
down
standing
into the
up on end.
ground.
Well, like,
But it's
shouldn't
his turn next. Let's see what
No,
happens.
it feels like we shouldn't leave it. I don't know. We need to find that thing, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's my turn.
There's a thudding noise from a couple levels down
Yay!
as the man, having been grounded, reverts to his humanoid form at the location of the final spot of the grounding of the lightning.
Yay!
Hey, that's close to where Nico is, probably.
About to say, kicking open a door to the maintenance of the particular areas of like the lower section. Nico, you see the sort of stumbling frame of Grandfather Thunder emerge out from that door, looks at you,
I've got a submachine gun.
and just, I've had enough of this, and brings a hand out, and a bolt of lightning sort of jets from his hand out towards you.
Okie dokie.
Kill Nico. Kill Nico.
My defense is 2, and against ranged attacks, my armor is 3. I don't know. Well,
I don't
actually,
think
one
that's going to
armor
apply
usually
here.
doesn't function. Yeah, no. So my defense is 2.
My armor against range attacks is 3. Unfortunately, this is a lightning bolt.
One, two, that's 5 points of bashing damage.
Okay, I'm fine.
And that is his turn. Nina, it's your turn. You're no longer being electrified.
So, okay, so clarify this for me. Is there any indication to me? Yeah,
There was a crashing noise.
Right, where? You said
Down.
below.
Yeah, down.
And
Did
what?
Nico yell when he got hit?
I would
He
say
will be
you
on
definitely
his
heard.
turn.
You definitely just heard another crack of lightning down below.
Okay. I'm staggering my way, I believe, out the door.
Yep. Out on the catwalk, and you sort of
Get a
look
good
down.
look at it. Get a good look.
You look down, and you can see the reformed Grandfather Thunder shooting lightning at Nico.
Oh, good. I hadn't had I pulled this out, but had not had a chance to use it yet. I'm shooting him.
Open fire. His defense is renewed because his turn is back, but it doesn't really apply here because he's just a changeling. He doesn't get to dodge bullets.
And I am again spending a willpower because who needs willpower? So I have a +2 instead of a -1. I shoot him for 3 damage.
How do you want to do this with how injured he is from the previous
I sort of
attacks?
spin around like still twitching and like still dealing with the electricity around, yell, "Hey, asshole, we're not through yet," and then just like right through the dome.
Yeah. So, Nico, from your perspective, as he's just pumping lightning into you, Sidious style, you hear Nina call out, and he stops for a minute, and you can see the lightning sort of arcing off of his eyes as he sort of turns and looks, and there's just a report of a gunshot and a spray of blood, and he collapses.
Oh, man. God damn. Nina!
Dumbass motherfucker. What?
Thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome. I mean,
I'm moving into the
I
office.
may have some neurological damage. I was just electrified.
You and me both. And Nico's going to just grab Thunder by the ankle and start dragging his ass back up to his office.
I'm walking into the office to start.
As I go inside and just sort of lean against the wall and start slowly sliding.
You did good work. You did good work, ma'am.
I still have bullets in this gun. I just need to point that out.
It's cute. You think that'd work on me?
Paul is headed.
No,
for-
but they would make me feel better, and they'll work on you, Paul.
Paul is gone. Paul is out of the room already.
All right, Paul. Sorry, Paul? What was your character? What was your disguise
Dale.
name?
Jim Dale.
All right, Jim
Jim
Bob. Let's
Dale.
tear this place apart. Looking for that thing. I say as I walk
wanna-
past. So I'm gonna go through the office looking for the iron or the cold iron wreath.
I will say eventually you come across it. It is not hidden in the office, but eventually as you pour through the facility, you find that it is hidden not anywhere that would like indicate a particular place of like entry, at least not to your eyes, but there's a door down on one of the lower levels that just leads into a bricked up passageway that used to be like, presumably we used to go somewhere, but has since been like completely filled in, and it's on the inside of that door when you open it.
So here's the question: which one of us finds it first?
Yeah, I was about to ask that as well.
God.
Is it me or Paul?
Oh boy.
Both of you roll me a wits and investigation.
Does
And Paul's eyes just like arcing lightning out.
do
It's
do
stuff all over the
do
place.
our professional training ratings apply
Yes,
as
for
a
both of
thief and a spy, respectively?
you. For both of you, yes.
So that's what was that? Wits investigation.
Yes.
Wits investigation.
I would like to spend a willpower on this, please.
I would also like to spend a willpower on this.
Spy versus spy.
All right. So we add in our full professional training.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
4 successes.
Oh, come on.
Zero, you are the one who finds it first.
So yeah, just I imagine that Paul is like just down the hallway looking in a different closet. Like we're like,
Honestly, I feel like because he was headed out to search the body, I feel like he is just in the process of just ripping every article of clothing off of Grandpa Thunder.
I just go, I sort of tap into the Bluetooths that we've been using, and I just go, found it. Let's go.
Do those even work anymore? There's been a lot of electricity.
Mine are fine.
That's fair.
Zero's works. Everyone who's been struck by lightning, probably not.
So mine's the only one that still works.
We
So
probably
you're
could have
talking to
listened.
nobody.
I mean,
technically.
I did do the whistle and the yell out loud, so somebody would have
Right,
heard me
right.
as well. But I would just hold up the iron wreath as I walk past Paul.
Hold it up like a fucking Olympic
Like a
wreath.
victory.
Yeah.
Important question. Are you touching it? With
Yeah,
bare skin.
No, I've got gloves on.
Okay. All right.
When does Zero touch anything with bare skin?
I don't know. Paul will turn around. I assume it looks. Can I make a just to see it in person? Anything specific interesting about it? That would be
Roll me wits and occult.
okay.
Nico's just patching people up.
I'm trying to remove the tape from my sword.
Conspiracy?
You'll
Very
never get it off.
carefully.
Sure, yeah.
Conspiracy on this.
Yeah, sure.
We
go for
should
it.
get going before the fire department gets here, by the
Cool.
way.
Does Astrid need to make another stamina check when she
Yes,
tries to
you
get
do.
up?
You do.
All right. Am I doing +3 to this again?
Yeah. Counteract your wound penalty.
Mm-hmm.
You're out.
Well,
All right. She attempts to get up. And,
Astrid's getting first.
Yeah, Astrid starts to try and push herself off the floor and just collapses.
that's not.
You need a
Good.
vacation.
We're
What?
We're on a trip to Hawaii next.
But Paul, The cold iron wreath looks like its shape is a combination of like of three different designs that you would typically associate. It has sort of the general shape of like a Christmas wreath that you would hang on a door, but it has sort of the ivy and plant-like aesthetic of like an Olympic wreath, like a laureate, and then the thorns and spikes of the crown of thorns, sort of encompassing those three designs.
Paul pulls out his phone. Is it working?
Yes, at this point.
Okay. At least this time, let me document it before we get rid of it. Actually, we don't have Colleen here, right?
Yeah, she's not present right now.
We've got to drive back. Let me take some pictures and some video of it, at least so we've got documentation of it.
Go on, man.
He will hold out his hand.
I'm gonna hold on to it till we get to the car.
Paul's hand is out, and he sort of slowly puts it down. Right. All right. Sure. That's right.
Let's go get the
Loudly
others.
shouted from above at this point is, somebody get me a fucking brush.
Nina's hair is just all kinds of insane right now.
Don't have one of those.
I pull out my phone.
Sorry.
I pull out my phone and call my cleanup crew.
Yeah. They will be en route. Probably be here before the fire department.
So close the phone. Adjust. Does like this like neck cracking motion. All right. Well, let's get everyone out of here.
Yep. I'll help. Astrid, Ego, Nina.
We do
down the
not
stairs.
move people until they are conscious and or stabilized.
Are they?
Yep.
Are how can I help?
No.
Cat.
Nico.
Yeah.
It's an electric shock. It probably doesn't need too much effort to stabilize. It's mostly just going to be making sure that body is back to normal function.
Okay.
There's not a lot of physical damage to upend. It's just sort of making sure the systems are running right.
Right.
So,
okay.
give me your
So
medicine.
is Dex or intelligence?
Intelligence.
Yeah, okay. And it's Astrid, so we are spending a willpower on this.
As I walk back up, I'm just gonna, with my free hand, reach out and just start grabbing and yanking out cords wherever there's some free that are handy.
Yeah.
But we've got one success.
One's enough to confirm that.
10 dice.
One's enough to confirm that Astrid is just unconscious.
Okay.
She will recover. There's a few electric burns, which is when those bashing poured over into lethal.
Mm-hmm.
But she will probably be fine.
Got to be some kick-ass scars. What that's gonna be.
All right, Thomas, you can help now. We need to move her carefully.
Okay. Sure. I will carefully pick her up.
Sorry, Craig, you were saying something as we were walking.
I just was asking if you were still holding the wreath while pulling wires out.
Wreath in one hand, wires in the other.
Paul is like following you around.
Like a lost puppy.
No, like a
Maybe
hyena.
Paul
Like a
has
bloodhound.
Paul has 0 on auto follow.
like a hyena waiting for you to take your last step. It's like-
Yes. Astrid will definitely have some of those like flowering lightning scars of all of your veins getting lit up by lightning.
The fractal pattern scars. They're gonna be
Yeah.
great.
I just added the tattoos. It's cool.
Yep.
So gather everyone together. Do some
Nico
more
will
sabotage.
have one of those as well.
Oh,
He'll turn it into something.
I've called the cleanup crew, but the fire department will probably beat them here, so we should go.
Come on, Astrid. Go downstairs. Get in
Oh,
the car.
Thomas, I saw that Paul
Yeah?
taped my knife to your sword.
Yeah.
Could I have
So
the
that I
back?
got it. Yeah, if I've managed to get it off, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you've managed to. It was
Yeah.
just like construction. It was just like
Yeah.
a like
He
workman's
was
tape,
still
so-
handling it with a glove by
It's
that
just a-
point because I don't know what you've touched, and you've touched that thing. I'm not risking it.
Do a little flourish, and then the knife disappears.
Yep. What is that thing?
Cold iron throwing knife.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Gravy.
Let's go.
Yep.
And you can all see that I'm holding the wreath.
Awesome.
Paul, without taking his eye off the wreath, Paul reaches into a pocket and just holds out a comb to Nina.
I'll wait for a. Thanks. I'll wait for a brush. Have you ever tried to run a comb through vaguely fried hair? It
carry on.
hurts.
Otherwise, I'd offer it.
This is not my first time being electrified.
When we get to the car, as I go to retrieve my coat,
electrified.
I will toss Nina a brush from the back from my trunk, where all my disguise stuff is.
And I go to swing and it goes completely by me because my muscles are still spasming.
Thomas, could you get that, please?
Yeah. Hang on. Wait. Let me do this first. I'm going to.
It's okay. I
deposit
got it.
Astrid-
I am capable of bending over to grab a comb. Thank you.
The motion's a
Okay.
little jerky, but yes.
Okay.
Pile into respective cars and leave.
Thomas, how are you at driving?
Yeah. I can do that.
All right. I throw you my keys.
Sweet.
Vaguely, the keys are tossed
I
vaguely
hand
in your
I
direction.
hand you my key.
At the
You
moment,
take them with
moment,
both hands.
Nina's muscles are sort of moving in all or nothing mode right
Yep.
now, where it's either full extend or full contract, nothing between.
It's fine. I'll be out of this in about 15, 20 minutes.
All
All
right.
right. All right.
Back to the hideout, everyone.
When you work some really shitty venues, you get shocked a time or two.
Once Paul definitely sits down in the passenger seat of my car, I will hold the iron wreath out towards him.
He
I would
takes
like
it
to do a wit
gently.
composure roll for myself really quick to realize that Zero and Paul are the two people leaving together with the object in question. With my negatives. Negative. If anything, there we go.
There's a vague recollection of that.
All right, now I know who to shoot if it goes wrong. It's fine.
Paul starts taking pictures and video while we drive.
Yeah. I'm driving. This character can actually drive.
Hey!
I got a dot
So
and
what-
everything.
Once we get back to the hideout, the first thing Nico's going to do is make everybody assist in getting Astrid hooked up to an IV, bed rest fluids, that sort of thing, and he will try and get her back to conscious as soon as possible.
What about Nina? She's twitching.
I'll be fine.
Yes.
This is
Nina, you are not going anywhere, though.
Of
We
course
need to
I'm not
monitor your
going
breathing.
anywhere.
Okay, good. Here, wrap that bit. He's got one of those little mobile EKGs. He's like, wrap this around your arm.
Yep. I know
I-
this game.
Okay.
This is not my first time. This is not my first time at the electrified rodeo.
Okay, good.
On the way back, I will have activated the child locks on my car so that Paul can't just duck and run.
There's a shot just from the outside of the car. The door opens. Paul ducks, tucks and rolls. But I do want to have a conversation with Zara on the way
Oh,
back.
sure, yeah. Driving.
while he's taking pictures of it and so on. Actually, remind me what we know about this thing's capabilities.
From what you know, the Cold Iron Wreath is capable of locking. It is capable of doing what in the Changeling campaign some people wish they could do, which is lock the hedge from one side or another and
Sorry,
prevent
Baltimore.
passage.
And we had actually, I feel like we as a group had discussed doing that before we got rid of it, right?
No,
Nope.
Okay.
definitely not.
All right.
The understanding is the wreath has to be in place to do this.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. So this looks to be the real deal. We're moving through things. How much of a problem are the changelings to your operations at Chiron?
To mine. We actually don't interact with the changelings all that much. They don't have, while they certainly probably have useful parts, the parts are less useful when you can't perceive them.
Right. And how about those who the changelings are afraid of?
Similarly,
Grandfather Thunder's working for, that sort of thing.
we haven't found much use for those particular aspects as far as our technology is concerned.
Not to mention actually getting a hold of a Fae requires getting into Arcadia.
Yeah.
So having the ability to shut down their access to the city
Pales
is
in
the only thing to get rid
comparison.
of.
Pales in comparison to the threat to reality if we don't get rid of it.
Oh, certainly. But as I've said before, it's not as though we don't have time. We've got time to work with this. What if you and your labs could figure out a way to replicate the effect, to duplicate it?
We've got time. We've also got time to lose it.
That's true.
The longer we keep a hold of it, the less likely we are going to be able to secure it. As to my people, we work miracles, but not magic. I don't think we could replicate what this does, because what it does is an inherent function of what it is.
Right, but my people work a bit of both. Miracles and magic. Just taking a day or two to attempt to replicate it. The ability to control the access of things from the edge to get in. Now, I apologize, out of character, remind me, did Zero come with us on the hedge trips? I know that was right about.
Yes, that was right after the Mulcahys took off. So yes.
Okay. You've been through there. You've seen some of the horrors that lie on the other side, but there's got to be worse. You can't tell me that having the ability to keep this city, maybe multiple cities, safe from what might come through isn't worth at least a day of time.
Mostly because, Paul, while I have some level of trust with you, I have basically no trust with the organization. Just as, rightfully, the rest of our group has no trust with mine. A day's study would certainly be something I'd be comfortable with. However, there's no guarantee that when that day is up, the wreath would be returned. There's no guarantee that the wreath that is returned would be the correct one. And should it disappear into whatever corner of the world that your people operate in, there's no way for the rest of us to ever get it back. If we let go of this ring for even a day, we potentially doom our entire reality.
What sort of stake could I put up that lets you know how serious I am about this?
You are not the director of your branch, are you?
If I were, would that satisfy you?
Probably not. But you're not in the first place.
I outrank most of those who are here locally.
But not all. That's the problem. There's always a hierarchy. Even me, in my vaunted position at Chiron, have those to whom I answer. And once the hierarchy gets involved, it becomes far less controllable and far more risky. I would rest easier, even with the idea that these fey creatures still have access to our home. And frankly, there's no way, even if you had hundreds of these, there's no way you'd be able to stop them ever from coming in. They will find a way.
But certainly limit the damage. Look, I'm going to put this in a corporate speak. You realize that the more of these that disappear, the more difficult things you get with home office, so to speak, at least on my end.
Certainly. But I also understand that the home office, as it were, won't understand what we're trying to do.
Well, I think very much that they can. Out of respect, the entire order is based out of the tragedy of Atlantis. I think all of us can understand that Atlanta becoming another Atlantis is not in anyone's favor.
Except the scale is not that. The scale is not one city. The scale is reality as we know it.
All the more reason for anyone to be concerned.
Even amongst our...
We can have all the toys we want, but it doesn't matter if all of reality unravels.
Even amongst our kind, those who are aware of both sides of reality, the threat of all of creation is a hard one to swallow.
To be clear, do you mean hunters, or humans, or something else?
Hunters. We are different from mortals, normal mortals. Distinctly. We have seen a side of the world that they don't even realize exists. And even with our exposure, our understanding, there are still those within our organizations who would refuse to believe that one mage would be able to annihilate all of reality, no matter how powerful. They would simply argue against it. They would say you've been tricked, your mind has been altered, you've been enchanted by this mage who simply wants to steal these relics for themselves, and thusly the rest of the relics that are under your care. I can understand that perspective.
You understand that that is a possibility still?
Yes, that is. I do understand that is still a possibility. We might be getting fooled. But the alternative to being fooled is believing the truth. And if the truth is as bad as it seems, I would rather be fooled than for the truth to come to pass. It's a matter of weighing the losses.
Yeah, call that bluff. What could go wrong? Everything.
It's a matter of it's a matter of weighing the losses. These artifacts are certainly useful, would certainly be very useful, but we've been doing our jobs long before we even knew most of them existed, and we will continue to do our jobs long after they're gone. Whether or not we have access to them does not change how effective our organizations are. It would simply make it easier to do very specific things. But the loss of those very specific things versus the potential loss of the entirety of reality, it's an easy scale to weigh. Though, I will admit, not many of our kind might see it that way.
I understand you may not believe where I'm coming from, but I'm not suggesting the loss of the items. I'm just suggesting we attempt to study them in more detail before, rather than immediately destroying them. But I understand your position.
We are unfortunately in a position of nebulous trust. Nina barely trusts me. Understandable. I am Big Pharma, and Big Pharma is what she rails against. Astrid tolerates me. Nico doesn't seem to care. Thomas is new. Nina trusts you to a certain extent, but you are one whose proclivities could very easily move you to the realm of not being trusted. Astrid, probably, I feel, feels similarly to you as she does to me. Nico similarly doesn't care. Thomas is new. Risking the fragile trusts that we have amongst each other, the potential of copying, studying, even documenting in a location that the rest of us don't have access to, for even a day, is not a risk I'm willing to take.
There is a long pause. He's continuing to run the recorder on his phone, and he's taking pictures as he moves the wreath around, trying to get different angles and so on. And then after the pause, he says, "You have a certain degree of self-awareness. I know your comments after our dealings with Mr. Lansing from the Faithful of Solpay. You mentioned that he was, I think I'm using the right word, creepy.
Yes.
Is that something you'd like to avoid in your own speech?"
No, I rather like the way that my speech patterns unsettle individuals. You may have noticed, but I can change them at any time.
I have. I assumed it was intentional, but just giving your comments about Mr. Lansing, I wanted to,
It is.
to ask. That being the case, I'd like to commend you then on your intentional use of the words mortal to refer to your fellow humans.
I thought you might appreciate that.
I'm someone who always appreciates a good bit of craft.
Though it is not entirely inaccurate. I am something more than mortal.
Aren't we all?
I sort of indicate to your eye.
And unless there are further questions or anything, Paul will...
Out of curiosity, how many magical artifacts have your people duplicated?
Paul smiles thinly as he continues to take pictures, and he says, "Again, I think we have a professional understanding. This is the sort of thing that I believe would go into the realm of trade secrets, would it not?"
Oh, I understand. You don't have to give me specifics, though. I'm curious, because you seem very confident that you can, which leads me to believe that you have before.
Let's leave it with the fact that I am confident.
Very well. And then we make it to the hideout.
Yeah. Everyone reconvenes.
I wait until Paul tries to get out the door before I deactivate the child locks.
That tracks.
And I just sort of hold my hand out.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Okay, I would like, if that's the case, I would like to do a thing then, please.
What would you like to do?
I would like to use the skeleton key to just have the door open despite the locks.
Beautiful.
Hang on. Does the skeleton key have to go in a lock, or does it? Hang on.
No, you just have to be holding it.
Where's the skeleton
well, no,
key
it fits
at?
any lock that uses an actual key.
Yeah, this doesn't use a key.
Or any other form. Oh no, okay. Let's see. It doesn't work on car locks, code locks, or any other form of security device.
Yeah, so it specifically calls out it doesn't work on car locks.
Okay.
That would have been great though.
Hard locks.
That
Card
way,
locks.
the hunter party
Like a
can't.
security card.
The hunter party of PCs can't finance themselves through GTA.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious if it worked though.
I know. I again, no practical purpose. I just thought it would be funny.
Well, I will hold out my hand for the wreath.
Yeah, it would work on cars just fine. You just have to be able to insert the key according to the text. Yeah, which you can do from
the outside,
outside,
not from the
but
inside.
not the inside. Yeah. But that would have been
Paul
great.
will just
That
sort of
would've been
look
great.
over at the hand and say, "Zora, certainly we have enough mutual trust that you don't need to carry it into the headquarters from."
We do, certainly. Nina.
Okay. Yes. And won't that be a real balm on her suspicions to see us carrying it in? As you pointed out, she trusts me more than she trusts you.
In certain ways. Not in all ways.
And I'll be certain to mention what a gentleman you were for the drive.
That's fine. You can't run from me anyways. And I'll open the car.
With a little smile, Paul gets out.
We'll head in.
He takes off running. No, just
Takes off running, and then panther leap.
I was gonna say takes off running. There's just the sound of a bowstring being drawn back.
It's like the scene from Hot Fuzz. He's running away. Zara just like picks up a brick or something and throws it.
I mean, to be completely fair, since she had noticed that she had realized where that thing was going with. Once everything was set inside, she was going out and I was planning on she was going out and finding a place where she can watch once they
Fair.
show up.
So you're probably
Whoosh, 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 boom.
You're being driven by Thomas. I'm driving my supercar.
Do you think Thomas is a safe driver? I don't.
I feel like I still get back before you.
You want to do a Dex drive off
Okay,
there,
you
storyteller?
I mean,
I don't mind. I don't
From a-
mind either way. I
It's
don't
fine.
care. I was just-
from a logical perspective, one group was just heading there. The other group was sort of having a conversation, and a particular conversation, which probably implies driving it a little bit slower.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fair. I was just
I would-
I was just making a joke.
I would say that the other group would have gotten there first, and Nina can be like posted up inside the building,
Yep.
Like above ground, just sort of watching for their arrival.
Yep.
You see Paul getting out of the car carrying what, given his demeanor, is probably a small infant that he loves very much. Nope, it's the wreath.
There is no way she would see that reaction and be like, "Yep, there's the wreath." Unless your kids suddenly showed up on the car right here,
And I,
in which case there would be many more questions and concerns.
I step out. I pull my jacket out of the back seat, put it on, reach into the breast pocket of the jacket, pull out my sunglasses, put them on.
Can we look around just to make sure that there's nobody? I mean, Paul's not worried about people watching from inside, he's worried about
Right.
people watching from around us.
Roll wits and composure.
I'll make that too.
Do I get a negative on this from being one-eyed? It's not depth perception.
No, it wouldn't. This wouldn't be a depth perception thing. This would just be a can you notice things.
One success.
Yes, I can.
Did you spend a willpower on that? Oh no,
Nope.
sorry, that's Nico.
Nope.
Sorry, I saw the modifiers.
That's Nico's
3.
medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Nico now that he's in a place with equipment getting shit set up for Astrid.
Yep.
Let's go find our apocalypse machine.
But yeah, so between the two of you, you look around. It seems clear at the moment.
Somebody in the building.
Okay.
Yeah, there is someone in the
watching
building
you.
watching you.
A little. I think Paul will give Nina a little wave.
Bravo.
All right, let's get this thing into containment.
Nina, do we need to do anything else for our friend before we head to Hawaii?
Yes, we need to do. Do we? Yes.
I mean, your next
No.
job was to destroy the
No.
thing, which goes to Hawaii. Yeah.
Nothing for our friend.
Just wanted to make sure. Let's get this inside.
Paul's headed that way.
I'm sure she's feeling hungry.
Get downstairs, Colleen. We bought you a snack.
Paul will place it down in full view of everyone, and will say, we are in a controlled environment. I've spoken with Zara about this. I think I know what everybody's response is going to be, but I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't simply raise the question again about taking these relics, attempting to subject them for a brief period of time, if there is any period of time at which everyone would be comfortable, or a location at which everyone would be comfortable. If it's it, that's fine. But subjecting them to study to see if any of their beneficial effects could be replicated, could be copied, could be even studied in more detail, so that perhaps in the future we could use them for the benefit of mankind. The information would be shared among all of our conspiracies and compacts. And again, if that study were to appear here, I understand I am from an organization those facilities are specifically called labyrinths. I understand that that is not a name which leads any particular feeling of trust. So again, if you would rather it happen here, if there's a place, if you want to do it at the Waffle House, I don't care. But if there is a place and a location and a period of time in which we could attempt to glean some benefit from these items before simply destroying them.
Well, Paul, much though I love you as a person, your group has the reputation for being a little Smaug in the Lonely Mountain about stuff like this. So, with that being stated, I'm fine with a little bit of study as long as it's you and like 48 hours and here. That's fine. Take as many notes as you want or whatever, and we can vote on what's a good turnaround time and that sort of thing. But with what we went through to grab this, I don't want it going out of our sight and into the possession of a third party.
Here's my issue. And it's not even a trust issue, surprisingly enough. These are ungodly powerful things, meant to be activated by people who are not us. Several of us are very capable in terms of handling items and things within our particular area of expertise. Paul, I know yours is mystical artifacts. And I realize that this is going to sound insulting. It doesn't mean to be. This would be like my estimation. My guess is that this would be like having the unpaid intern on their first day perform work on the nuclear bomb. The odds of something going right are really, really small. The odds of something going wrong are fucking astronomical. We've had our back and forth about you and your organization and me and all of that kind of stuff, which is generally mostly in good fun with an undercurrent of seriousness behind it or under it. But we're not meant to be fucking with these kinds of things. These are the things that man was not meant to know. Let's not know them. Let's get rid of them.
Paul just sits calmly and listens and nods. And
that's my take.
Is Astrid awake?
By this point, yes.
Not yet. I have to get 9 successes.
I have to get 9 to get rid of a bashing.
Basically, when she's full up, yeah. Basically, anytime the health bar is full, you need as many successes as there are spaces on the health bar.
I'll look over at Thomas then, see what he has to say.
Now she is. 2 hours later.
Are any of my bashing gone?
Yes.
How much? Just the one?
Just the one, but the other bashing will drop off at the rate of 1 every 15 minutes. So
okay, awesome.
Now that she's conscious again.
But presumably she's still unconscious while we're having this discussion because
yes, by this point,
an
this
hour
is a little
per
early.
roll.
I mean, Nina will argue for us not finishing the discussion until Astrid has had a say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul is perfectly fine with that, as long as it's not just like, destroy it now.
Look over at Thomas, see if Thomas has any opinions.
What, me?
Yes. You're part of the group.
Have I managed to get the sticky stuff off the sword?
Yes, by now.
Okay, cool.
Not
cool.
a lot stays on that sword unless
no,
you want it to.
I didn't think so, but I was just curious. Okay. I mean, yeah, no, I get it, man. Are you down to keep staying at this party? Because you seem kind of to have a lot of questions about this, and you know, will mime like devouring an artifact very dramatically. And cartoonish.
Paul nods and says, I have concerns that we're throwing away things and perhaps we have not adequately considered the source of the information.
Yeah, but it's really dangerous to have a big chunk of them together. I mean,
I understand
that demon worded things really, really well. And like that guy might have friends, and I interrupted.
No, you're absolutely right. I understand that. I will say keeping collections of tremendously powerful artifacts in close proximity to one another is what my organization has been doing for thousands of years.
Yeah, but you got to have like a labyrinth for that.
Yes, and I understand that is not something with which most of you are comfortable. Again, I think that would be the appropriate location. But again, there are matters of trust. I understand that. So yes, I have concerns that we are playing into the hands of something that is the direct opposite of what we've been told to do. I have nothing but faith in Colleen and in her good intentions, and I have nothing but hope for her that when this is completed, she can go on and live any sort of life that she would like to. But my concern is that all of us, Colleen included, are pawns that are working towards something and have been misled. So yes, I have concerns. But these items and these artifacts are better off out of the hands of those that have them. And if it is a choice between walking away or between collecting them and destroying them, I'm still strongly on the side of collecting and destroying them. But if it is a choice between destroying them outright or attempting to find if there is some promise for the world and for humanity that can be gleaned from these things before they are cast out of the world forever, then that is and remains my strongest feeling in this matter.
That was super poetic, man.
Thank you, young Thomas.
Have you considered the possibility? Think about the thing that we're destroying. Not this one, the other thing. The other Fey thing. The thing where we're tossing into lava. What happened when I touched it?
Yes, I understand. That was a bad day. That one, let's destroy it. We have multiple reasons to do so. From what I understand, it is a commemoration of a bond between our powers. That is something that I have no desire to keep around because I feel it draws attention down in the wrong direction.
Convince me logically that there is a 0% possibility that this crown, if we try to do something to activate it or something like that, that its maker can't reach through, take control of one of us, the person trying to activate it, the person standing next door, all of the bodies in this the cemetery, whatever the case may be, and completely ruin our plans.
Convince me that there is a 0% chance that if we pass this off to Colleen and she absorbs it, that same thing won't happen to her. And whatever it is that has that higher power won't have suddenly have access to all the powers that she possesses, all the powers of the item, and all the powers of the other items that she has absorbed.
Precedence. That hasn't happened so far. That my theory has happened the last time that we touched something that was Fey made.
Incidental aftermath animosity, by the way. You hear Colleen's voice come from across the room.
So, to counterpoint Nina, Colleen has never devoured this particular artifact, so there's no precedent.
You're not
for
wrong.
that.
You're not wrong. Is there a 0% chance? No. But I think the evidence is stronger.
Colleen indicates to Thomas. Thomas had mentioned, the loopholes that the demon might have drawn.
Yeah.
From what I understand of this contract, anyone who did not have any intentions of stopping you or messing with you when he tells them, but will after he tells them, is free game.
Yeah.
So, I'll wait until Astrid wakes up before I voice my opinion. I'd like to hear hers first. At which point we wait until Astrid wakes up.
And so as far as study goes, take an hour. I'm cool with that.
There we go.
Eventually, Astrid wakes up.
Regurgitate information, ask Astrid's opinion.
The situation is shared with you.
Okay. Paul, I know this has been hard, but we really can't take the risk.
So, as for me, I should more.
She was just gonna say we also don't have a lot of time to collect all of these artifacts, and if we delay in feeding them to Colleen, then there is that much more of a risk that they can be taken from us.
So, did you have more? Sorry.
No, I didn't.
It's a long gap. Okay.
No, I'll hear.
So, as I said in the car, and as I'll reiterate for everyone to hear, this alliance between us all operates on a very thinly veiled line of trust. I think we've made it very clear that the majority of us do not trust your organization. Not necessarily you specifically, but your organization. That being said, we don't need these items. We haven't needed them before we knew they existed. Prior to us knowing they existed, our operations were running fine. Not perfect and everything wins all the time, but we weren't in such dire straits that we were desperately looking for specific solutions to our problems that these items would have provided. So, while they would be useful, and I do agree, they would be very useful to have copies of, it's not so big of a loss as all that. Also, I feel like I shouldn't need to remind you of this, Paul, but currently in Lake Lanier there is a typhoon of souls erupting out of a mirror. We don't have even 48 hours. The longer we take to deal with these items, the longer our focus is split. The longer it takes for us to resolve problems revolving around the other items that are currently active and causing more problems. That typhoon of souls isn't going to wait. Frankly, I'd prefer to deal with it before we go to destroy this ring. However, I understand we have a contract to fulfill there. We don't have the luxury of time. Because every minute we spend working on something that is unnecessary, trying to copy an item that we might not even be able to copy. I don't agree. For the record, I don't agree with Nina on the whole, there are things we mortals shouldn't touch. I feel like if it's If it's made in our world, we should take advantage of whatever item we can find. However, time is not a thing we have a lot of. And who knows how long it will take for you to dissect this item, particularly by yourself here, where, as I understand, retrieval is your specialty, not reproduction.
No, just like in your organization, we have people for that.
Exactly, and you're not one of them, are you?
No, but that's why I suggested we have a team come here. And you've raised the point.
But none of us would want that
Well,
team
we'll
to
be
come
jetting
here.
off to Hawaii. No reason, since we won't be taking care of the vortex of souls, no reason that I couldn't stay here with any of you that wish to stay, to monitor me, to make sure I'm not going to run off to, and he gestures to Nico, to the lonely mountain and put it in my ord with everything else. Take the time. When you return, it's destroyed, and we take care of the vortex of souls.
Besides the fact that any amount of us splitting up tends to be a bad idea, just because we're going to Hawaii doesn't mean we're out of the woods. Your expertise may be needed there. Hell, an item of significant power might be there when we arrive. There might be zombies rising up on the volcano's side trying to eat us while we're there. Any number of problems.
Special.
Yes, but problems tend to follow this group, and they tend to multiply. And at any point in time, one of us might just become the center of a tornado. And if any of us are separate from the others at that point in time, there's no guaranteeing that we will be able to A, reunite, or B, succeed in our mission. Either we all go or none of us go. And I don't fancy taking that wreath on an airplane.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say some things, and you might get upset with me. Believe it or not, I'm actually sorry if you do, but based on the way you reacted with the other one, the way you reacted with this one, I don't know how well you know the Union, but we do a lot of. We don't just deal with the supernatural aspects. We try to deal with the regular people. I am just as worried about the very human monsters out there as I am the supernatural ones. That's why I tend to be more okay with some of the more benign people, monsters in the city, quote unquote. The reason I'm mentioning this is the way that you're reacting around these things and the way that you're talking and trying to bargain and stuff, that's addict behavior. And that makes me question your motives, and that concerns me. It's a level of bargaining of, well, let me at least do this. Let me at least do this. Let me at least do this. Like it's any kind of contact, and that's really concerning. Not in terms of you and your motives, but these things.
Paul is watching her and listening. I don't want to jump in if
no, she stops there.
He sort of considers it and says, I appreciate that. I think once we're past the point in a working relationship, or dare I say friendship, Miss Sky, where you've pointed a gun at my face and we come through that and continue to work together, I think we've moved past the need to apologize for a risk of offending one another.
I mean, that's pointing guns at each other is all fun and games.
I still, no
That
matter
kind
how
of
much
stuff
work
is
I
serious.
do here, I still do not understand Americans. But
Oh, that's not Americans. That's just me.
You may be right. And as much, how long has it been since the very first episode? Or I guess because it was a little before that. How long has Paul been in the States at this point?
Probably about 6 months.
Okay. It's been a long time since I've been home. It's been a long time since I've seen my family. I've been at work probably longer than I should be. So while I take Zaro's warning about all the horrible things that could be waiting for us in Hawaii, it may be time for me to take a weekend to visit back home, to collect my thoughts, spend time with people that are very dear to me rather than objects that have meaning.
It's fair. And I'm sympathetic to that. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand it from my perspective. I could
People
give
or the objects part.
the both really, but specifically the people at home part. Not my thing. It's your thing, and I get it, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you can understand. You're willing to listen.
Out of game. I forget which week were you going to be unavailable? Next week?
Hey. I don't know for sure, but more than likely next week. Yeah. So this seemed like a good time to.
Wow. That was not planned for me at that point to call out that behavior. Cool.
Just thought I'd run with it.
No, that's good. Yes. I'm willing, like I said, take an hour, take a couple, take what notes you can. I got no problem with that. I'm hesitant for even overnight, though. It's reality. I keep my stuff here.
What a coincidence. So do I.
And with that, as people are considering what might be possibility and preparing for what will be done in the next few days as far as their trip to Hawaii, that's where we're going to take a break.
If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to stay tuned for these commercial messages. Remember, when we take a break, you take a break. So stand up, stretch your legs, walk around, grab a drink, do whatever you need, use the bathroom, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. William got swapped places because he turned his camera off when he went to step away, so I have to fix that now.
I apologize for nothing.
We're back though, so like you can start.
All right, yeah. So as you're fixing the cameras.
You don't have to sit here and wait for me.
Anyway, but the plan is made. Well, the point of semi-agreement has been reached. I'm assuming Paul is going to take some hours, at least an hour, to try and learn what he can from the wreath before it is consumed.
Yeah, I mean, Paul will take as much time and loop in as many people as he can, although it sounds like that's probably a no-go.
Yeah, just you.
So, okay. I assume intelligence and academics.
Yes, and you can add your conspiracy dots.
Okay. And I get a dot from my research specialty, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There, I fixed all the cameras.
8 successes.
Nice. So we'll get back to what
I'm staying near that area, just observing.
Yeah.
Not like watching like a hawk kind of thing, just there.
I'm making booking accommodations.
We'll get back.
Watch.
We'll get back to what that means later because someone else has a meeting to get to. So Nico.
Before I leave, I give very strict instructions to everybody that Astrid stays on bed rest. Unless the hideout actively catches on fire and has to be abandoned. If it just catches on fire, she stays in bed and you guys put the fire out.
What if her bed catches on fire?
Then you move her and you put the fire out.
What
Okay, if my
Astrid
bed catches on fire, I'm leaving.
What
Yeah.
if Astrid catches on fire?
Then she stays in bed and you put the fire out.
I'm just trying to get
I've
all the contingencies.
I've got this covered. Don't worry
Thank
about
you,
it.
Nina. All right. I will be back as soon as possible. There's a couple things I have to do.
Do you
Alright.
need
I'm
any
not
assistance?
a child. I will stay in bed and rest.
I believe you.
As Nico is leaving, he heard in the background, Zero, go find a fire extinguisher just in case.
Already on it.
Just for the humor, just for the joke value.
Astrid's over there. Thomas, bring me some matches.
It's a good idea.
Thomas is keeping watch.
Anyway,
Thomas is standing over Paul like an executor, or like an
No,
like
no.
an executioner.
Like keeping watch for something coming into at the hideout.
Ah, I see.
Basically.
I can't
There
work
is-
under
there's-
these conditions.
There's enough people watching Paul.
it's like Thomas just standing there holding the sword up, waiting.
So, Nico, you
Uh-huh.
head out to
all right.
the location that has been described to you,
Mhm.
which, as you find out, is a seedy drug den in the middle of Atlanta. You sort of enter. It's very much that sort of underground bar aesthetic. You sort of have to go down a flight of stairs to get to the door to enter this establishment. A guy checks you at the door.
So the
confirms
afterlife.
that you're- kind of, yeah.
It's a speakeasy for drugs.
Yeah, you go down to hell in the afterlife.
Mhm.
Or go up to heaven in the afterlife, one of the two. The afterlife is a nightclub in Atlanta. They have the upper floor is heaven, the lower floor is hell. Lots of stuff happens there.
And the guy checks you at the door, make sure you're allowed in, which you are. He lets you in. You find yourself in the middle of a very sort of low light, smoky atmosphere sort of environment. People at various tables trying various substances. There's alcohol, there's drugs, there's smoking. everywhere is in enjoyment, but you are instructed to head to the back room.
Okay. He will make a beeline for that.
So,
Where there's a baccarat table.
but you make your way back, and sitting in a private lounge, basically entirely to herself, is Amalia. Dark-skinned, long, sort of curly hair that sort of flows down to about mid-back, covered from head to foot in tattoos. There's probably not an inch of her skin, not even on her face, that is not inked. And a variety of different piercings. And she sort of looks at you with these sort of piercing yellow eyes, which is an unnatural color and unique to her. But she sort of looks at you and, so, little Nico, coming to learn some more recipes?
He nods. We're going to be facing off against ghosts.
So you want to learn the Whisperers of Thoth?
Da, mama.
Very well. Sit down. Let me pass you through this experience.
He'll take a seat wherever he can.
I like the amount of overlap there is between Nico and Hekau. Like, thematically.
There is a bit, isn't there?
So, she says, as she sort of pulls out a bowl and sort of douses and sort of dumps into it this sort of faintly greenish yellow powder. This is a potent mixture of a variety of different materials. Gunpowder, snake venom, potassium chloride salt. All of this in lethal amounts. You're going to inhale not just the smoke, but the flame.
All right.
You will likely hear the voices of the dead when you do this.
Kind of drums his fingers a little nervously on the tabletop. All right. Well, I know a couple of them.
Takes a lighter. Like not even like a fancy one, just like a plastic Zippo.
Right.
Cranks it. Are you ready?
I am.
She lights the material. It goes up like a fucking bonfire.
There's gunpowder in it. And he'll just lean forward.
And she holds it under your nose. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that just my standard elixir roll?
Yeah, make an elixir roll.
Inhale the fire. Become
3
one
successes.
with the fire.
So you inhale this flame and it singes your entire body. You feel like you are on fire on the inside. And you begin to hear those whispers from beyond the pale for a moment. And everything
Sort of
subsides.
Grip the handle of his duffel bag just to try and center.
After a moment, the whispers subside. And you have this sort of inherent understanding, sort of the way that you know how to breathe, that no one can explain to you how to breathe. You know that you are primed to inhale the essence of a ghost.
That's a rush.
And you know that to make that inhalation, what is required of you is simply to ask of the ghost.
he'll pull out his little journal and ask her some just very specific questions about exact proportions for making this mixture in the future.
She will give you your recipe for how to craft this elixir on your own.
Awesome.
And you have learned False Whisper.
What are you gonna call ghost vapors?
I would ask if there is anything that we need.
For your task? Hard to say. You walk where none have. You face dangers that there is no precedent for. You may be writing your own recipes in the time to come. Turn your experience into power.
I may be leaving town for a brief time within the next week or so.
Remember,
Is there anything required before I leave for the Southern Temple?
at the moment, your task is too great to demand of you any more than you've already given.
I understand.
Remember, you are always ascending. Turn your experience into the power to move forward.
I will.
All right. If there's anything else you need, let me know. You may enjoy your time here as you like, but I think you have work to do.
I need to stop by the flower shop.
Have fun.
Gives her a little half grin and a nod and heads to the nearest florist shop that he can find.
So you do that.
Okay. He's just getting a flower display.
Yeah. Easy enough. Meanwhile, Paul,
Yes.
with your 8 successes,
I am focusing you through some gentle guitar playing.
I can't be the only one picturing Jade Peralta. Ah!
I mean, fair, but no, like actual, like
just sort
No,
of casual strumming in the corner.
probably like some, yeah, like maybe some actual tunes, like something folksy, something like that.
Yeah.
She isn't
That's cool. I like
just metal. That's just what she likes and plays.
Meanwhile, I'm on the phone. Yes, first class. Yes, penthouse suite.
We're
Yes, 7 of them.
I was going
all
to say, yeah, but what about the rest of us, Zara?
what I'm hearing is that we're all doing our part.
But with 8 successes, what you learn is that this is beyond you. More than anything, you learn this artifact can be activated by anyone from what you can gather of it. It doesn't require any of the fey magic that a changeling normally wields. All it requires is to be placed in a place that is a door, that can symbolically represent a door, and anywhere in the vicinity is locked off from the hedge.
Okay.
And you can only imagine that doing so in the hedge can do the same from different angles, stopping anything from Arcadia coming into the hedge or stopping anything from the Rio coming into the hedge.
Okay.
And you can only theorize that it would also work if you were in Arcadia to stop something from Arcadia getting into the hedge, although you would never want to go there to find out.
Can I get a concept of how old it is, what it's made of, how it was made, anything like that?
This, like every artifact you've encountered, seems older than dirt. Not a one of these yet has seemed to not be antediluvian.
Okay.
You are not making this easier on poor Paul.
Yeah.
These almost appear to be fundamental things that have existed since their relevant quantity has existed.
Okay.
Like you would say, the Crimson Veil has likely existed since vampires have existed.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that we hear a few of those groans?
I think from Paul at this point, it's really, he's just, I mean, I think Nina knows him well enough and he's not really hiding this. So I
Right.
guess up to William whether a roll would be required. He's really tired. And I don't mean like he didn't get enough sleep. I mean, this is just like
He's
on
drained.
on a spiritual level.
Yep.
He's about done.
But as fundamental as these items are, there's no way you could replicate them.
No way.
You might be able to learn from them to maybe sort of simulate some of the effects, but there's no way you can make copies of these things.
And that doesn't just mean there's no way that Paul can do it. That means that no one could. Is that right?
Unlikely, yeah.
Okay.
None
Well,
but the creator.
That's a specific bit of information that he really wanted to find out, and it's not the answer he wanted, but at least he knows it.
It's sort of like, could you ask someone to copy gravity?
Science fiction says yes.
not just the presence of gravity, not like making an artificial gravity machine, but copying the fundamental law of physics, gravity.
No, I'm just being a dick. I get what you're saying.
Technically, it's a theory.
After Paul, like, I don't know, sets his pen down or glasses down or something.
There are definitely a few like these moments.
Yeah. Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Do me a favor. Tell me something about you that you haven't told me before. What's life like back home for you?
You mean when I'm not working?
When you're not working, yeah.
He turns and looks at Nina. Can I get a sense of what? I guess can Paul get a sense of sort of why she's asking? I think I maybe have a better sense knowing Jeremy, but can Paul get a sense of why Nina is asking?
She's just sort of sitting. I mean, yeah, I would be absolutely cool with a roll or something like that.
Go ahead and
She's
roll
not
wits and
being like
empathy.
yeah, secret. I guess there's a little of manipulativeness, but benevolent.
I would call that manipulation and persuasion rather than subterfuge.
So what do I roll?
Roll wits and empathy.
Okay.
I do not have persuasion.
That
Technically,
did not
should
roll
have
any
done.
dice.
Yes, it did not. Although all of my damage was bashing anyway.
Yeah, your
so
damage should be gone. So
my damage should all be gone.
So it's
I
not a
wish there was
chance
an
roll.
easier way to get rid of these wound penalties than just clicking through all of the things. So it's one die. So it's one die. It's not 0 dice.
Yes, not a
so
chance to.
still nothing. Yeah.
it's not hard to see that. Go ahead and describe what you feel like.
It's there is it's definitely an honest question. It's definitely a I want to know, but it's also she wants to get him talking.
He sort of, again, running his hands. He's taken the bald cap off and everything at this point and looks like himself again. Although he
Right.
still does very much have just like a big old mustache now instead of his old beard, which is a little weird. But he sort of looks at her for just a couple seconds and says, it used to be when I was home, I'd always say it was quiet, but it's not anymore. It's chaotic, but uncontrolled, and it doesn't need to be. If you really want something that might surprise you, I used to drive a motorcycle when I was younger.
Didn't know. Honestly, not hugely surprised. You definitely give off a post, assuming that Wesley had survived past season 5 of Angel. You give off that sort of vibe.
He smiles. Well, I was really hoping for more of an Anthony Ed thing, but I suppose I
That too. Actually, yep. Good point.
Ripper.
Yep.
No, nothing like that. Nothing so. It didn't have any interest in the arcane, anything like that. It was all just artifacts and what would sell. But just, I don't know. I miss that. I miss that sort of uncontrolled chaos that doesn't need to be controlled. I miss waking up in the morning and finding an aborted attempt at breakfast spread across the floor, eggs everywhere, flour in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the cats getting where they shouldn't.
But that's not to say it's not. It's bad the way it is, right?
The way it is here or the way it is there?
Right, it's there.
No, it's wonderful. Like I said, I miss it.
Yeah.
Paul, I have a question for you.
Oh, Zero's here too.
I've been here the whole time.
I know, but I just picture him being so quiet that Paul sort of forgets he's there.
I was on the phone 5 minutes ago. Most of the people that join our line of work are, by their natures, loners, or people that don't have families to come back to. Why are you in this line of work?
I picked the wrong job after I already had a family, and I didn't wind up with much of a choice. And he kind of gestures to the eye, which he has at this point taken out the probably like incredibly nasty and grody burnt contact that was covering the fake eye, and scrubbed it clean, and it was just that same sort of mother of pearl pearlescence that's there. I picked up a shipment, some artifacts. Something went awry on delivery, and I wound up with one of them inside my skull.
And so, your order found you then?
They did. One option was to take it out. That seems like a rather permanent solution. So to gain any offer, they could let me join and help them to seek out other artifacts, put it to use, and pardon the expression, keep an eye on it, because they could keep an eye on me, or they could just open me up, scoop it out, but that'd be the end of me.
It just strikes me as that you are, amongst all of us, funnily enough, the least broken.
Hey,
Nina, you are very broken.
you know nothing about me.
You find pointing guns in people's faces to be a fun hobby. That's not a normal thing.
I only shoot the people that need to get shot.
That statement is also not a normal thing. It's not a bad thing, mind you.
Completely normal, Astrid will shout from the next room.
Not helping.
I'm
Yes.
supporting you.
Says the
Thank
person.
you.
Says the person with a torture chamber.
Yeah?
What I'm saying is, Nico spends his days and evenings prescribing to people that which would otherwise kill them if he wasn't around to keep them alive. Nina runs a almost cult-like union of followers and also happens to be a thriving rock star with a penchant for shooting things. I run what is literally Big Pharma and also have my own sordid history of black ops and murder. Astrid, the aforementioned torture chamber in her shed.
It's awesome.
You have a wife and kids.
Don't forget that her brother's a vampire.
Also, her brother's a vampire, yes, says God. You have a wife and kids. You see what I mean?
On a meta level, yeah, how do I have a lower morality setting than all of you? How did we get to that point?
Because, again, there's a difference between pointing a gun at somebody and shooting them.
One's assault, the other's battery. There's a difference.
Exactly.
Also, I like how in the comparative morality speech, Thomas just doesn't exist.
Thomas is a kid. We're not talking. He doesn't count.
Also, he made a monster
not
killing
a
fuck
child.
party, so I don't know that
yeah,
he gets
yeah.
off
I mean,
scot-free.
also, yeah. Thomas
Yeah,
organized a monster killing
Thomas
fuck
is
party.
at the bottom of the list. Let's be honest.
Thomas is also very broken.
I mean, you all know nothing about him. It's okay.
All we need to know is that you organized a monster killing fuck party.
Paul shrugs and sort of gestures back to the work that he's got in front of him and says, "Look, I imagine all of us have picked up jobs for one reason or another throughout our lives that we weren't maybe the most enthusiastic about at the beginning, but you got to find something that draws you in, something that keeps you going." And Miss Sky is right. And I think maybe I've gotten to a point where I forget what I'm doing it for. So,
I mean, listen, this is not a judgment statement. But if we're judging brokenness, which is a bullshit thing to do, first of all. But if we're judging brokenness, the person that has that and comes here ranks pretty high on the scale.
you understand I don't have a choice.
I understand you don't have a choice. I understand that you think you don't have a choice.
You saw, what was her name? I'm so sorry, I forget. The one who was possessed by the Aegis artifact last season.
Slasher
So
lady.
The slasher lady.
Oh yeah, the Sonic Slasher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
we
what was
ever-
her actual
Did
name?
we ever get an actual name?
Her name,
Paul found it out for sure.
Emily.
Emily.
Emily Caulfield.
You remember Emily.
Yes, and I understand.
She wasn't even in the Aegis. She was just family to someone who was. That's why I do it.
And I appreciate that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not judging on any of this, and I just blithely labeling people broken is fucking stupid.
Well, that weren't me.
No, I know. I'm not.
Nina's attempting to make me feel bad. It's not working, but
No, I'm not. I'm attempting. You know what? Never mind. So, never mind. And she just sits back and stays there.
Go ahead. Are you certain? What
Is
made you
everything
think-
okay down there? There was yelling.
We cool.
Cool.
He sort of gestures to the notes and says, "Well, I've got a limited amount of time, so if you don't mind, I probably ought to get back to it."
Yeah, absolutely. Do you? You need anything? I'm here.
I think you've already helped.
Cool.
Gives her a little smile.
So,
And we'll turn back to the research.
eventually the night wanes on.
eventually we feed Colleen a crown.
You eventually hit a point, Paul, where you're pretty certain the night is getting long and you are not sure that you can find anything else out about this thing, especially not with your current level of equipment and resources.
Okay. He'll take one more pass, like with any equipment that he's got, documenting anything about it, spectrographs and whatever he can get. And then say, all right, I suppose it's time. Is Colleen asleep? Is she awake?
Well, she's up. She's been up this entire time.
Okay. Colleen, if you're ready, I think I've gotten everything that everybody's comfortable with me gleaning.
All right. If you're sure.
I don't know that I'm ever going to be sure, Colleen, but I think we've done all we can.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I mean, sure as I'll ever be. I still don't know what's ahead of us.
I don't think any of us do.
It's probably about this point that Nico is walking back in the door.
Let's see. Thomas was out keeping watch.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Nico gets out of his mini coupe from where he's parked, comes in with a large vase full of flowers.
Oh. You shouldn't have.
Not for you.
Astrid,
Yep.
go get him.
Cool. Yeah, and he'll just walk downstairs, set him next to Astrid's bed. Doing okay?
Yeah. She's
kind of
gonna look at
flowers
you
are
like
there?
you grew two heads.
Those are for you. Flowers are important in hospitals.
Why?
Gives you a thumbs up. It's a social convention.
Meanwhile, Colleen sort of looks at the
Flowers in Hospital Con.
yeah looks at the wreath and just, all right, artifact number 4 of 7, and she places a hand on it, and there's a flash of white light, and it's gone. And as you look, the tattoos that have been creeping up her left arm, if I'm remembering correctly, creep further across her chest and up the sides of her face as they had started to previously. And it sort of spreads around to where the left half of her face is marked with these arcane scrawlings. And as you look and sort of pay attention, you notice that around her chest, like a upper like clavicle area, just around the neck, the lines form of a tracery like a collar with the outlines of thorns around her neck, and continues to spread further across. And at the time it stops, it has reached the other shoulder. It hasn't proceeded down the other arm, but has reached the other shoulder.
How does she look? Comfortable, distressed?
She
in
looks
pain?
as if this is something she's done before, but it's new every time.
You're starting to get a collection that rivals mine, Colleen.
She looks down at them.
Nico kind of holds a hand up at the flash. Oh, didn't know that was happening now.
All right, my work is done. Catch you on the flip side. I'm taking off.
Where's
I'll
that
be back
ring?
tomorrow?
Where's the ring?
It's here. We
Yeah.
put it in containment.
No, we haven't fully contained it yet, though.
Paul gets out the. I think we put it in the statue, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it
I
was
think we
placed.
did.
It was placed in the statue.
Paul gets out the
Yeah,
stopwatch.
it's secured.
We'll turn it. The statue turns from, if I recall correctly, from like an upright, form holding a sword to an old bent man, and the thing slides open,
I need to.
and he withdraws the container holding the ring.
I need to take that to get it prepared to be thrown into a volcano. Who wants to come with me?
Nina's already gone.
Yeah. Unless you all trust me to do it on my own.
I don't think I'm allowed to leave.
Nope.
I'll go with you.
Well, get the ring.
Thomas, stay or go? You ever seen the inside of a big pharma?
Nope. Sure, I'll come.
Moana?
Well then, let's go to the laboratory.
Can you say it laboratory though, please?
Let's go to the laboratory.
Thanks.
Is Nico going as well?
Ooh.
Nico's staying behind to treat Astrid.
Nico's doing an observation.
We need it frozen in a block of nitrogen, yes?
The coldest cold and the hottest hot,
Yes.
all in one. So yes, frozen in nitrogen.
We'll put it into a nitrogen containment cell and see if we can't break it here, but still plan on taking it to Hawaii.
Cool. Yep.
Let's go. And I will lead them out to my car with the ring in tow, and we'll head to wherever, not the laboratory that's in my penthouse complex, but we'll lead them to a off-site laboratory that has the required facilities.
So, running through that, you can get it frozen in the block of nitrogen as you require.
Yeah.
You can get it in a nitrogen containment unit.
We're gonna have them run a few tests on it and see if it can be destroyed locally.
You don't have the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get it frozen, but you don't have the heat requirement.
Yep. All right. Well, after doing a few tests, put it in a containment unit. That'll keep it frozen until we throw it into a volcano.
Fun fact: containers of liquid nitrogen have lids that don't screw shut.
Yes, because the pressure would explode.
Yeah, you can't keep them pressure sealed.
Nope. Gotta have room to breathe.
Thomas is just looking around at everything. How impressive is this?
Well, so I feel like the exterior of the building is like a boring looking, like brutalist square building with no windows and just like a sign on the front that just says, Chiron Group. And then once you get inside, it's that sort of like clean white, lots of glass and stainless steel aesthetic that you always see in like the
the future is now kind of very clean white.
and in the kinds of things that you see in the in like James Bond movies or in horror movies where they always happen in a lab. Like the thing always starts, that kind of thing where everything is too clean and too clear and too see-through.
Abstergo Industries.
Yes.
How much stuff is out and like around, or is it all kind of hidden away?
I mean, there's stuff out and around. There's also lab techs dealing with it. Like, there's a lot of people here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that looks immediately supernatural anywhere within public.
No. This is
He's just very quiet.
This is a normal laboratory. That's why I didn't take them to the one in the penthouse.
Yeah. This is a medical facility and just general research and scientific.
Yep.
It's a think tank.
Lots of whiteboards with stuff written on it that's hard to read. Lots of people in lab coats. Yeah, get it frozen up. Put it into we'll probably have it like in a cylinder of nitrogen that is then in like a sealable cooler. It's like the cylinder isn't sealed, but the cooler is sealed and kept at a temperature.
And has air holes, presumably.
Yeah. But everything's set so that it can be traveled in comfort. And so that it can be taken back with us to the hideout so that everyone can see that it's there and safe.
Meanwhile, are there any other conversations that need to happen while that is happening? Say between Nico and maybe Astrid.
Oh, Nico's surprisingly quiet this evening, actually. If Astrid initiates conversation, he's there.
She's probably likewise quiet, confused right now.
Okay.
Why did this person bring me flowers?
Yeah, in fact, at some point, she probably texts Archer.
Why would I talk to this person? And I can.
Why are you texting Archer?
She probably just texts him. So, like, I'm injured. Nico brought me flowers. What does that mean?
I'm so pleased.
Read previous statements.
Archer, being the man who wants to help, but also wants to have a laugh at his sister's expense, says, well, I mean, either you're going to die and the flowers are there to make you feel better in your last moments, or he's trying to get you a gift because he likes you.
Oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah. At that, Astrid will look at Nico. Am I dying?
Not any faster than anybody else is.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're gonna be fine. You just need like a long period of rest. Like, I'm a little leery about putting you on a plane in the first place, but Hawaii is technically sort of a relaxed spot, although apparently we're going to be hiking up a volcano, so it's going to be complicated, but yeah, no, you're going to be fine.
I promise to do relaxing things while there.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're going to have to prioritize some of that. Honestly, not only for you.
I mean, I consider murder relaxing, but
physically relaxing. Like, I'm sure that's very like cathartic and therapeutic, sure, but most murders have a level of aerobic activity to them that we're trying to reduce. as much as-
I will work on
Murder
that.
is relaxing.
Most people don't realize the M in ASMR stands.
It's for murder.
Murder.
But yeah, no, you're gonna be what? What made you think you were dying?
Just something Archer said. He's probably just giving me a hard time.
Oh, okay.
It's what brothers do.
Yeah, the whole sibling thing was something that I learned about via observation.
He sends you a text containing a bunch of flower emojis.
Which one of us?
You.
Okay.
specifically.
I wasn't sure if he had Nico's number.
Yeah.
Okay. She will send back question marks and WTF.
When we get back to the hideout, could I get Paul and Thomas to make a wits and composure roll?
Sure, go for it.
Sure.
You get the text back. He's trying to flirt with you. He's not good at it, but neither are you.
That was about to be a response. She will shoot back to Archer. I don't know. This is uncharted territory. I don't know where to go from here.
Typically speaking, it begins with a conversation in which people talk about what they might like about each other. It comes in that exact cadence with like spacing.
So
Okay, now he's just being a jerk.
you both notice that as you get out of the car, Zero seems to be for a moment staring at a point just to the side of the building as if there was something there before he heads into the hideout.
Wait,
There's nothing there. Like if you look, there's nothing there. But he seemed to be very intently staring at something for a moment before he moved away.
Now, out of curiosity, is that something that Paul would see?
Oh, actually, what does your eye let you see?
Ghosts.
Spirits?
You would see what looks like sort of a woman in her mid-20s holding like a wrapped infant.
Paul sort of gestures in that direction at Zero and says, "So, a friend of yours?"
And they're gone when you look back. Pardon? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
La Llorona over there. The spirit with the baby.
No, not a friend.
Can I do a
Sure, go ahead.
wits and empathy?
Yeah.
Roll
yeah,
it.
can I?
Yeah.
2.
He's not lying, but it's not like that's an enemy either.
Anything?
He's being very specific to the wording of not
Yeah,
a friend.
yeah, he's very specifically answering your question.
I am technically truthful, which is the best type of truthful.
Anything you want to talk about?
Remember when I said most people in this field don't have a family?
I do.
That's all he says before walking towards the hideout.
Zara, one more question. If you don't want to talk about it further, that's fine. But anything we need to worry about?
No.
All right.
They've been with me since I was born.
If it's something you do want to talk about, if family is something you want to talk about, or this specific manifestation of it, we've got time before we leave.
I
But I'm
appreciate
the last
it.
person to push you on it.
I appreciate it. But not right now.
Is Thomas just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just in the background with that face.
All right.
But yeah, you get another text eventually, Astrid. That's just a GIF of it's just the Captain America sitting down in front of a chair GIF. with the chair backwards.
So,
You get the sense that your brother is fucking with you.
Yeah, she'll just text back, stop being a jerk.
Look, I'm just trying to help you start maybe the one romantic interest in your entire life.
There was that ... Never mind.
Listen, you've had nothing but your job since we came into it.
She'll text back, I don't even know how to start a conversation.
You open your mouth and you form words.
If you were here right now, I would punch you.
No, you wouldn't. Doctor's orders.
Astrid's just over there cussing under her breath at her phone right now.
well,
Thomas
Nico
is
needs
gonna.
to make a roll then.
Okay.
What's Thomas doing?
Thomas is texting Nina.
4 successes. Nico's smart enough to shut the fuck up.
You good?
There is a super quick response of fucking Peachy with bat skull, tongue out, thumbs up.
Thumbs up back, smiley face.
Fucking emojis.
No pumpkin emojis though, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
She's not a monster.
If there were pumpkin emojis, she might be going to look up a Euthanatos mage or some shit. Which is something we don't want her doing by herself.
I don't think Thomas knows that. I don't think he's that smart.
I
Oh,
I
okay.
wouldn't
Well,
make that connection
maybe there
either.
would-
So
Eventually, you get another text that just says, "In all seriousness, it starts with conversation. Ask questions. What does he like doing? Personal questions. That's how you learn about someone."
What do you like doing? Drugs.
So you like drugs?
what kind of drugs do you like?
I don't know. Now I'm pairing that with the Captain America gift.
Right.
So you like drugs?
Establish if you have any common ground.
Do you like murder?
Have you ever killed someone with drugs?
Have you ever tortured someone with drugs? How do you feel about torture suites?
This is why John and Jeremy would be very bad wingmen in the world of Dark.
Or the best.
Or the best. One of the two.
No in between.
You could write an entire pamphlet on the things he hasn't done with drugs.
Astrid will just stare at Nico for a minute. So, how did you get into this whole hunter thing?
Then the door opens.
I was headed home from a party with a couple of friends, and we got jumped by the ugliest vampire you've ever seen. And like when you're in as deep as I am with the Russian mafia, there's you know that there's bad shit in the dark, but that bumped things up to a new level for me. And I spent a very traumatized couple weeks hiding in my apartment. Well, it wasn't actually my apartment. It was my friend's place. and they were running the concert circuit, so I just broke in and hid. And then apparently news had gotten around about that, and so that's when the organization found me. And since they had some answers, and I had known a couple of them without knowing what they were actually into, kind of like acquaintances, it just sort of snowballed from there.
So Russian mafia was mentioned.
Yeah. Dad worked for them, and then there was a hit, and so at that point, when the power structure changed, it was weirdly courteous, in a sort of, oh, well, we're sorry we killed your dad in a crossfire, so we'll pay for the rest of med school kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with that revelation, that's where we'll end for the week.
Oh, can I just, because I might be out next week, can I do a real quick bumper?
Oh, yes, there is one stinger before we close.
When we have a chance, Paul will excuse himself to call his family and make his travel arrangements home.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes into actually, probably, I guess by the time they leave, he will go out, and when he's completely on his own, he takes out his phone and dials the number and calls, and when it picks up, he goes, Maxwell, it's Paul. I tried it my way. It didn't work. Tell the Cigaris I've reconsidered their offer. I'm ready for the second initiation.
And that's where we end for the week.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.